welcome everyone in today's video. In the last video we have covered about the concept of feminism and its broader picture, what we are going to study in this chapter. But in this video we will start the waves of feminism, and that is the first wave of feminism. Okay, there are three waves of feminism, so we will cover in this video the first wave of feminism. Okay, so the first wave of feminism was rooted in the concept of the idea of liberal values and ethics. Okay, liberal values and ethics. This is the idea which is the core theme of the first wave of feminism. So the first wave of feminism is called as liberal feminism. As the first wave of feminism is rooted in the concept of the liberal values and ideas, that's why the first wave of feminism is called liberal feminism. Okay. Then the first major feminist thinker on the publication of the ethos of the first wave feminism is Mary Wollstonecraft. Mary Wollstonecraft was a very well-known and very renowned feminist who had published the book A Vindication of the Rights of Women, where he argued the concept of the rights. She says that as the rights are based on common reason, as the rights are based on common reasons, as the human beings possess the concept of the reason, that's why, and as the human being, as a species consists the quality of reason, virtues, that's why rights are entitled to them. As a human being in general are entitled to the rights as having the feature of common reasons and common virtues. That may be male or that may be female. So rights are given to everyone, not excluding anyone, as it is based on the concept of human reason and human virtues. Okay, so she argues that why women should not enjoy the same rights as the men enjoy, because the human beings as a whole, men and women, both possess the quality of the reason, common virtue. So there is no defensible reason why the women should not enjoy the same rights as the men. Okay, this is the first concept of the argument of Mary Wollstonecraft. The second philosophy of liberal feminism is principle of individualism. What is the principle of individualism? The principle of individualism says that all human individuals are important. Okay, and they all are important and they possess equal moral worth. Equal moral worth. That may be female or male. Every human being is equal. Every human being is having the quality of human reason, common virtues. They are having the equal moral worth. That may be male or that may be female. So, according to the principle of individualism, as female is the member of the society, as the member of the species of human being, so the individual should be entitled, that may be male or female, equal treatment, equal opportunity, regardless of their sex, race, color, creed or religion. Okay. So, first thing that Mary Wollstonecraft argues that the rights are based on common virtues, common principle, common reason. As the women are possessing these qualities, then why should we refuse to give them rights in the society? The second argument is that principle of individualism. As all individuals are important, all individuals are having the equal moral worth. So, individuals as the member of the society, as the member of the species of human beings as total, should be entitled to equal treatment, equal opportunity without any discrimination regardless of sex, race, color, creed, religion. Okay, is it clear? This is the principle of individualism. Then in the book Subjection of Women by J.S. Mill and his wife Charles Taylor Harriet Taylor, both said that the individual that may be male or female should be judged on the ground of rationality. Okay, on the basis of rationality or reason, not on the grounds of the sex, gender, or social conditioning. Okay, they should be judged on सारे जो ह्यूमन बींग्स हैं, डेट में भी मेल और फीमेल, उनको कैसे हम जज करना चाहिए? ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रीजन, अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर टैलेंट्स, किसमें कितना टैलेंट है, किसमें कितना एबिलिटी है, उसके कैरियर को परस्यू करने के लिए, कोई भी काम करने के लिए उसके पास कितना रीजन है, उसके बेसिस पे हमें ह्यूमन बीइंग को जज करना चाहिए, ना कि उसके जो सेक्स, जेंडर और दी सेक्सुअल कैपेसिटी, ये सब के ग्राउंड में कोई भी इंसान के वर्थ को हम कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते. सो ऑन द सब्जेक्शन ऑफ द वुमेन, J.S. Mill and Harriet Taylor argued that the individual should be judged on the rational grounds, on the basis of their reason, ability, equal moral worth, not on the basis of sex, gender or society. So this is the very important landmark in the concept of waves of feminism, and they also establish the principle of reason. Is it clear what is the principle of reason? Principle of reason says that every individual, that may be male or female, should be judged on the basis of rationality, talents, personal worth and character, not on the basis of the accident of birth. Sex should be irrelevant in the concept of judging the ability of the person. Okay, that's why the thinkers Mary Wollstonecraft, J.S. Mill, Harriet Taylor, they all are supporting for giving equal rights and liberties to the women as the men. Is it clear? Then next thing, the main ethos or main concern of liberal feminism is female emancipation, and they support how the female would be emancipated through the suffrage movement. Okay, so they started the concept of political movements to avail the suffrage rights, right to vote, and they believed that if the women get right to vote, then it would help the women to emancipate in all other works of life. Okay, if they will be all works of life, if they would get the right to vote, they would participate in politics, then they would get better opportunity in economics, in society, in other factors of life, in pursuing their job, in pursuing their career, in all factors of life. So the main theme of the liberal feminism is the demand for political rights, suffrage rights, okay, right to vote, suffrage rights, legal rights. So they are demanding this concept in order to empower them in the society, in order to emancipate the female in the society. So the main concern of liberal feminism is the female emancipation, and that should be done through the suffrage movement. Okay, and this suffrage movement should be based on liberal individualism. And what is liberal individualism? That every human should be given equal moral worth, because all have the equal morality, equal rationality, equal talent, equal moral worth. So all should be treated equally. So they demand equal voting rights with men, and they believe that voting rights is very much important to avail, because it will help the women to get better opportunity, maybe in economics, maybe in society, maybe in career, to excel them in their career. Okay. Then they also demand to break down all the legal, local, social pressure which restrict the women from pursuing their career, being politically active. They urge the people to make the participation of the female in the political process, in decision making process, being politically active. And they also demand for increased representation of women in senior position of public life, because at that time the women are only restricted to the four walls of the house. So they demand the women should get outside of the home, they should enter into the public life, they should enter into the political participation. It should help them to enhance their position in the society, enhance their social position, social priority position in the society. And they also So these rights which are claimed or which are demanded by the liberal feminists are based on the enlightenment, rationality and reasons, because first wave of feminism which came in 1820s around, so it is following the period of the reason, rationality, liberal values, ethos. So the liberal feminism idea is whole based on enlightenment, rationality and reason. So J.S. Mill, the most staunchest proponent of the theory of first wave feminism, argued in favor of equal citizenship and political rights. This is the main concern of the liberal feminism. Then the liberal feminism which they are demanding the rights are reformist nature. They are targeted to bring reform in the society, but in gradual manner, in gradual process. Through the reformation, the women can get the better position in the society, equal voting rights with the men, equal legal rights with the men, so they can participate in the process of politics. And this process of reformation will be gradual process, not revolutionary. Means they only support the process of political movements, demand rising, voice raising. So these are the reformist in nature, as in contrast to the socialist feminism which emphasized on the concept of revolutionary. means they only supported the reformist. means देखो एक बात है, लिबरल फेमिनिज्म क्या बोल रहा है कि हमें पॉलिटिकल राइट्स चाहिए. यस और नो, फीमेल लोगों को पॉलिटिकल राइट्स चाहिए, बिकॉज वंस द फीमेल विल गेट द पॉलिटिकल राइट्स, द वोटिंग राइट्स, देन दे वुड एबल टू पार्टिसिपेट इन अदर फील्ड्स ऑफ लाइफ, इन इकोनॉमिक्स, इन commerce, in their career. But they are making strict separation of dichotomy of public and private sphere. Okay, public and private sphere. अब अभी अगर हम जनरली फेमिनिज्म को देखेंगे ना, फेमिनिज्म क्या बोलता है, personal is political. In radical feminism we will discuss this very broadly, but now I am narrowly making understanding it over. Personal, political is politics is personal. Sorry, personal is political. Okay, personal is political क्या होता है? Feminism is arguing that personal is political because personal sphere एक को डिवाइड करता है, पर्सनल स्पीयर और प्राइवेट स्पीयर, और एक रहता है पब्लिक स्पीयर. पब्लिक स्पीयर में वो सब एस्पेक्ट आते हैं लाइक वर्क्स, आर्ट, लिटरेचर एंड ये जो प्राइवेट स्पेयर में हमारा जो हाउस होल्ड, चाइल्ड रियरिंग, ये सब हमारा ये आता है, चाइल्ड रियरिंग, ये सब प्राइवेट स्पेयर में आ रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे सोसाइटी का एक कंसेप्ट है, एक सोशल कंस्ट्रक्ट है, दैट वुमेन शुड बी केप्ट इन द प्राइवेट स्पेयर एंड द मेल शुड बी केप्ट ऑन द पब्लिक स्पेयर. Because they have biologically they have superior tendency, superior capacity to manage this work, whereas the women are subjugated, women are exploited in the private sphere. And if also the women are facing the exploitation of the men in the form of the domestic violence or any type of sexual abuse, then they should be kept in the four walls of the home. They should not go out of the home, and the politics should not interfere. So here the public sphere also includes the concept of politics, public affairs. So the politics should not interfere in the domain of the personal sphere, in the private sector, in order to manage the affairs of the household, because it is the private sphere. So the politics should not enter this domain of personal sphere. So the liberal feminism, although they are advocating for the political rights of women, they are advocating that the women should go out of home and participate in politics, but they did not support the concept of the merging of the public and private sector. They are supporting the dichotomy of the public and private sector. They are saying that the public sector and private sector should be remain apart, because by remaining them apart, by remaining them separate, the personal choices, the personal freedom of the woman can remain intact. Because a woman or a female is making any type of decision is the best decision for him, and the politics should not interfere in the decision making process of women, because it's women's personal freedom, personal choice. If politics is entering in the section, then it is hampering the liberty of the individual. As liberal feminism is based on the concept of liberty, liberalism, enlightenment, so it is more promoting the freedom, personal choice of the woman, as contrast to the socialist feminism, radical feminism, which is talking about the dichotomy of the public and private sector, merging of the public and private sector, that the politics should interfere in the affairs of the private sphere, in the affairs of the female life. They should make principles for the organized life of the female life. But here the liberal feminism prioritize the personal freedom of women, and they are supporting the dichotomy Now you will see what is the relevance, what is the practicability of the women's movement in the reality. So women's movement started in the USA, UK, in everywhere in developed nations, where the women started to demand for the rights as enjoyed by their son, as enjoyed by their wives. So the women in the home started to demand for their rights. So in USA first time emerged during 1848 this liberal feminist movement, inspired by the campaign to abolish the slavery. स्लेवरी एबोलिशन के लिए जब यूएसए में ये हुआ था 1865 में, उसके अराउंड ये लिबरल फेमिनिज्म इन्फ्लुएंस होके, जैसे कि वहां पे वर्कर्स लोग स्लेवरी एबोलिशन के लिए प्रोटेस्ट किए थे, लाइक वॉइस फॉर द फीमेल इमांसिपेशन, द फीमेल्स वर स्टार्टेड टू demand their rights in 1840s. Then in 1848 the famous Seneca Fall Convention started, which led the birth of the women's movement and adopted a declaration of independence and sentiments written by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and this written document became the base work for female suffrage, which provided motivation, which provided guidelines for the women movement's further area. Then National Women's Suffrage Association was created by Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, which were the leading feminists in 1869, and this National Women's Suffrage Women Association was merged with the conservative American Women's Suffrage Association and made a dominant institutional framework for guiding the feminist movement. Then it is the picture of USA. Then in UK it was organized during 1850s. In 1840s it was started by influencing from the slavery abolition movement, and in UK it was started in 1850s. First attempt was made by जैसे हम पहले पढ़े थे ना कि जेएस मिल एंड हैरी टेलर, वो लोग ऑन सब्जेक्शन ऑफ वुमेन. In last video we have studied about how the Harriet Taylor and J.S. Mill have demanded about the principle of reason, how the individual should be judged on the basis of the reason. Those people like J.S. Mill and Harriet Taylor for the first time attempted to introduce female suffrage by amendment to the Second Reformed Act. Okay, in 1867, but it was failed. The House of Commons of UK did not ratify it, so it was rejected. But it was the first dominant action for the feminist movement. Then adoption of militant tactics in 1903 by the Women's Social and Political Union in UK. So these are the steps, these are the bold movements shown for the rights and liberties of women in the society. Then first wave feminism ended with the achievement. So first wave feminism का बहुत सारा values था, जैसे कि हम देखें उसका patriarchy का अलग dimension था, how it supported the distinction between public and private sphere, then how it supported the principle of reason, principle of individualism, then subjection of women, then Mary Wollstonecraft's का vindication of the rights of the women. So जो various diversification of the feminist movement जो कि diversified area में वो demand कर रहे थे for the political rights, suffrage rights, legal rights of the women, it came in reality with a successful results of incidents like the achievement of the female suffrage introduced in New Zealand for the first time. It is very important. In New Zealand, female suffrage movement came to a successful scene, and with the achievement of the suffrage rights of women in New Zealand in 1893. Okay, it is very important. Then with the 19th amendment of US Constitution, women rights were given in USA in 1920, and it was also extended to UK in 1918. So New Zealand को कब मिला था? 1893 में फर्स्ट. देन सेकेंड किसको मिला था? यूके को 1918 में, देन यूएसए को 1920 में सफरेज मूवमेंट मिला था. तो ये सब अचीवमेंट है जितना भी पॉलिटिकल मूवमेंट्स हुआ 1840 से लेके यहाँ तक. तो ये सब का रिजल्ट क्या था? ना सफरेज मूवमेंट मिला था जो कि कोर कंसर्न, कोर पिलर ऑफ द लिबरल फेमिनिज्म का था. तो उससे उनको क्या मिला था? सफरेज राइट्स मिला था, जो उनको हेल्प किया उनके व्यूज, उनके पार्टिसिपेशन, उनके एंगेजमेंट इन पॉलिटिकल अफेयर्स में. Is it clear? Then, but what are the criticism which are faced by the liberal feminism? So, what are the criticism? That the critics argued that the liberal feminism only attracted to those ladies or those females which have only the advantageous social and economic background and career opportunity. It only embraced the women of middle class, white class women in developed country by relegating into background the black women, the oppressed women, the poor women in developing society. It only embraced the higher strata of the society. So it is not the universal phenomenon, it is not the inclusive phenomenon which embrace the every section of the society. In 19th century movement, also the leaders of the suffrage movement were usually educated middle class women. They already have a brighter position in the society. They already had advantageous social and economic background, and they started to participate in the process of feminism, and they tried to enhance their position more and more by neglecting the actual oppressed women in the society. So it was the greatest criticism of the liberal feminism. Then, as the J.S. Mill and Harriet Taylor propagated the principle of reason, that women should be judged on the ground of reason, rationality, ability, talents. But in reality, it is not always possible, because women are always judged on the basis of the social and economic factor by the boundary of the society. Okay, and it is only revolving around the equality. They are only tending to make women with the flow of the men. Equal rights of the men, equal rights with the men, equal position with the men. They are tending to bring equality with the men by forgetting about the uniqueness of the women or female. They have the unique natural capability, natural ability of child rearing, caring, sacrifice. They are neglecting. They are being neglected by the liberal feminists. So these were the problems, these were the criticisms about liberal feminism. So in liberal feminism, we started with the period of beginning. Who were the thinkers like Harriet Taylor, J.S. Mill, then Mary Wollstonecraft, and how they propagated various principles to advance the political movements, political rights, and the suffrage rights. Then we had studied about the different connotation of patriarchy, public and private sphere, reformist movement. Okay, then how it came into reality, then how it was challenged by other feminists and other ideology, that how it was circumscribed or how it was confined with the higher strata of women, neglecting the reality of the women, faced the problems by the black women, poor women, oppressed women, marginalized women. Okay, it forgetted them. Then it was all about the concept of liberal feminism, their features, their problems, their reality in practice. Then in next video we will study about the second wave feminism, embracing the socialist feminism and radical feminism. Okay, thank you so much.